welcome to another episode of Creating Magic. I'm Dani.
And I'm Paula. And today we are joined by the lovely Shelley of Conquest Journals.
Hi, you guys.
Our favorite journals.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Planners, stickers, coloring book.
Coloring books.
Reading journals.
That was a great
Mine got here today.
Yes, journal hand clips. Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, you guys.
We love having you on.
Yeah.
But when I saw you did a coloring book, I'm like, it is time. Been too long.
We're overdue. Mine got here today. I haven't opened it yet, though.
Thank you. Thank you for ordering, Paula.
Yeah, I needed it.
Yes, I think I need to order a few stenos, so I've been waiting because I'm like, I need to assess everything I need at once.
Yes. Yeah, our Beetlejuice stenos have been doing really well. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
I personally feel like we might get a Beetlejuice.
Really?
I think we might.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
I haven't either. I was supposed to see it on vacation and we didn't. Maybe you're right because it has been that's interesting. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, I like that. I like that a lot. That would be
I love
really
Jenna Ortega also.
Yeah, she's chef's kiss. She does a great job. I love her. Yeah. She's so good.
I feel like there's room for a third, especially with how much publicity and stuff has come out with the second one.
Yes. And everything's been doing really well. I mean, on our team calls when we were developing products, it was funny because Tracy and I are like, listen, we need to make some Beetlejuice stuff. This is going to be, and, there was a little bit of naysaying. I mean, we always do that back and forth, right? So like,
you never know. Like, it's so hard to tell, like, because there's things that come out and you're like, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And then you see it and you're like, I don't need that merch.
Yes. Kind
of like Fantastic Beasts.
Yes.
Like, even though it's probably this huge fan and like, I do enjoy the movies, but like when it came to the merch, I didn't care for like,
and here's
merch.
Here's the thing about the Fantastic Beasts stuff. Like I still have, it's my favorite blanket. It's a Pottery Barn blanket with the, and I know it's not a phoenix. It's the, what is the big bird? I can't believe it.
Frank. Thunderbird.
Frank. His name is Frank.
Frank.
Yeah.
And we reference Frank a lot.
We do.
We actually talk about Frank multiple times that has nothing to do with
with the actual podcast, but Frank comes up a lot.
That's he. He should be like your logo or
like our mascot.
Your mascot. Yes. Frank is the mascot. That's amazing.
He's our unofficial mascot.
Yeah. And I have that, like, it's it's a Pottery Barn blanket. They don't make it anymore. It was during I think the first film came out. So it's my favorite blanket. The artwork that Warner Brothers developed for licensees to use for Fantastic Beasts was so gorgeous and so chef's kiss. But it just, when we made the decals, that's kind of one thing we do. We try with like stickers or something smaller to kind of dip in and say, okay, is there going to be an audience for this product line? And it just never took off. And we just, they have great stuff. I
think it's just that people wanted what they knew. Like I do have some Fantastic Beasts stuff, but like when it comes down to it, it's just like,
Yep. Exactly. I mean, it's even the animals. I would say the cutest stuff they had was the Kowalski bakery stuff.
Yes.
And
that lounge fly of the bakery.
I have it. I love it. That's so cute. But that was like it. I didn't need. Yeah.
And I love the like anime-ish design they do a lot. They don't a bit. And they did it a lot with Fantastic Beasts, and I love that look, and not everyone does.
Yes. Yeah. And we find that to be true when we're developing our stuff. I mean, it's always obviously it's like, it's what we like, but we want to have it be what everybody likes, but we can't because of competitors and product development. You can't tip your hand. And, we've had this like age-old discussion of, well, what if we came up with a couple of designs and asked our people, like, our followers, hey, which do you like better? Do you like this? Do you like that? But then when that competitors are watching you and will pick up what you're doing and try to shove it out before you get it out,
You
then
need
you're
like a locked brain trust of like people that you're like, they're not going to
Yeah.
show anybody else. This
Yeah.
is like a private like group. It can't be posted anywhere.
yeah, can't be posted anywhere.
You need like something with NDAs.
Yes, I will hunt you down personally if this gets leaked. Yes,
Spike will come for you.
Spike will. Yes,
come. He's your scary coworker.
He is my scary coworker.
Oh man, it's funny. Oh, Spike.
Fantastic. Oh, Spike.
But
Oh,
yeah.
I wish I had a scary coworker.
I have a question for you, and if it's not okay, then you just let Dani know.
Okay.
Are you planning on doing planners that are not Harry Potter, or is it just like Harry Potter?
Well, no, I can totally answer this. So, originally we did Harry Potter and we did Supernatural.
Right.
Which Supernatural was like our OG license. We had the Supernatural license before we even had Harry Potter. And then it took us, and to be completely candid, it took us like 3 years to sell this last round, this small run of Supernatural planners we did. So, and here's the other thing, because we've talked about doing other planners, and it's always a gamble, because what really sells are the dated planners, but then that's scary. But if you
because it's you're locked in.
You're locked in.
Or you gotta wait 7 years.
And then yes. Or, and then obviously the holidays change and whatever too, but the undated planners, they just do not sell nearly as well. Not even, I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of our competitors do undated planners, but they just do not sell nearly as well as the dated products.
I say it all the time. I love planners, but to me, I need a dated.
I do too.
I need it to be dated. I need it to be dated. I will. I'm just saying, I'm going to put it out there. I think that a waiting for the night planner would be like amazing.
With some coloring books.
Because I love the whole line. I love the waiting for the night line.
I was going to tell you, that is the planner that we have talked about doing. And we're not going to have it for 2025, unfortunately, because Tracy she's been going through some really hard stuff. And so we're a little behind, but it is on our schedule for eventually maybe 2026. We'll have the waiting for the night planner.
Nice.
So, and if we're going to do it, my feeling is it needs to be dated, and it needs to be that same hardback, like our Harry Potters. And I think it would be really beautiful. I mean, when we decided to make the coloring book, and it was kind of like, how do we take this great reading journal that was just so perfect and so like full of everything. We did a lot of research and like what I liked in reading journals the best. Like, I love to color in the bookshelves. I love to color in the little like daily reading.
That's my favorite thing. Is the bookshelf coloring.
The bookshelf. I love. That's why we have 4 pages of bookshelves.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. Like, if I'm not keeping up with my long form reviews, I'm at least coloring in those books. So,
and the little dots. I love the dots.
The little dots, the daily reading dots. Yep. And so with the coloring book, we were like, because we want to keep expanding and waiting for the night line too. So we talked about the planner, but one thing we talked about was the coloring book, because there just aren't a lot of cool kind of gothic-y themed coloring books out there that aren't like horror. I'm going to try to say it like I can't pronounce it very well. Horror, like a different, a different license or something like that has like characters. And I wanted it to be also like that dark aesthetic, but also funny and bookish themed.
It's like that dark academia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like lives in that genre.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I feel like there's an author out there and we just haven't pinpointed them that are like, these would be like the perfect like cohorts of a book somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I think, yeah, I would love to work with some authors and do some more things like that, because I think there's not enough merchandise for some of that stuff out there. But so tangentially, is that the right word? We're just going to keep making cool book stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think like
We need Kindle accessories.
What?
Kindle accessories.
Kindle accessories.
Kindle accessories.
What do you think stickers are?
Yeah.
I know. I did. I ordered a pack of stickers too. And the steno pad. All the stuff I ordered was waiting for the night.
For our future waiting for the night planner, I am putting forth my request.
Okay.
Of ghosties to color in.
Okay.
And since it's on theme, including monthly reading in the planner also.
Yes.
That's my personal request.
Yes. I want to go back to, we had a really great in one of our supernatural planners, and we don't do this in Harry Potter because I'm trying to be very like OG, I'm a student, so I don't like write like what you're watching, what you're listening to.
Yeah, you want to stay in universe.
I do. I really try to stay in universe with that. But waiting for the night, we don't have any of those restrictions. So we can go, it's like fun. We could do like, what am I binging? What am I, binging, reading, podcast, whatever. I mean, it can be, but definitely gearing bookish theme. Cause I just think, bookstores are our biggest customers. Barnes and Noble is our biggest retailer. And I just love being in their stores and seeing the Waiting for the Night reading journal on the Halloween display. I freaked out. It was like right next to Frankenstein. I was like, oh my God.
I need to go check out my store and see what's there.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I just need to talk them into taking more of the line. Like one goal is to like go into a store and have a whole like Waiting for the Night.
Like your own end cap.
So pretty.
I need it to happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You put it out into the universe.
I put it out into the universe. I want it to be like a Waiting for the Night by Conquest Journal.
We're adding our energy to you putting it out into the universe so it happens.
Yes, like the coloring book, the reading journal, the washi tape. I mean, the steno.
I'm ready to annoy everybody with my coloring. So
yeah,
I'm ready.
You would not believe.
I never planned to go into a podcast episode surrounded by your stuff, but I'm just naturally literally surrounded by your stuff. Yeah. It's just like all here.
Me too, but yay! Yeah. I've got my notepad and my steno. I mean, you guys would not believe, because I kind of got out of the coloring mode for a while. I was really big into it even before the pandemic. My sister and I were doing it, like. The
mandala ones?
Huh? Yeah.
The mandala? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And so we got into like the more marker ones with the bigger, thicker black outlines, which is why a lot of ours have that, because I didn't want to do fine shading and fine coloring. I wanted it to be more relaxing, easier, bigger strokes, right? So then I kept buying markers on Amazon. Of course, like 3 of those big black bags, like one of them is a Cali Art one. One of them, I don't know the brand. Then the other one, Haley was like, no, Mom, you need to try these because they blend better. They like fill it in better. So yeah, I've been having a blast. I've been coloring a bunch of the pages and it's gotten me back into coloring more again.
I'm excited because I have some Copic markers. Copic.
I think it's...
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
They're the creative Sharpie, and they don't bleed.
They don't bleed.
I actually use these in my planner because they don't bleed through.
Yeah, mine have been bleeding through, but I always put a paper behind the page I'm coloring.
But they're not double-sided, right? There's only one.
Only one side.
Well, because I use them in the planner, so I always want to make sure they don't bleed through. Because sometimes I want more than a highlighter.
Yep.
I want like good thick line, and
Yep.
those ones are great because they don't bleed through to the other side of the page of the planner.
I used to love coloring with the color pencils, but like using the liquid to like kind of like blend. You ever seen where I went through like a coloring phase?
Oh, I did too. I have a set of those. What are those really nice colored pencils we all got at like Michael's? I don't
I'm trying to think because I'm sure it's the same thing I have.
Prismacolor.
They come in the
Prismacolor.
metal box.
Sally and I invested in those, and we were doing that with all of the like super intricate, and we got like a really nice sharpeners with the super intricate coloring things. And then I was like, this is stressing me out too much.
I have the watercolor pencils.
Oh, nice.
But I'm a little bougie when it comes to my art supplies.
She's bougie.
I was an art student for most of my life. Like,
there you go. I support that.
It's not like crayon wise, if it's not a Crayola, I'm not touching it.
Oh no, crayons, you can't go. For crayons, it has to be Crayola. Have you ever used a rose art crayon? It's horrible.
They're terrible. They are like using
Waxy.
uncolored wax, just rubbing it on the page. On the steno notebook front, in the spring, we have another new line coming out that I'm super excited about. I think you guys are going to really like for Harry Potter. We are so excited about it. I cannot wait.
Podcast spring 2025. Yeah. I know you're excited for it, but nothing can beat this color palette over here.
Oh,
this year, the 2025 planner, the color palette.
It's basically Dani in a planner.
This is my closet. If you open my closet, this is the color palette you would find.
I love that. That's what like Arlene, when Arlene posted, Arlene is the homeschooler I follow, and she's like, she's in her moody era. And I'm like, yes. I knew that, like the my ad headline for the first like whole launch of it in her moody era. Yeah. And I'm so glad that we can finally, I mean, how ridiculous is it that like we can finally afford to have pockets? So
it just shows it just lines up with the fact that we always want pockets in our clothes. Like we always want a pocket.
I'll tell you what, that pocket isn't for me is not just for the stickers, but you go to a doctor's appointment, you shove like the little receipt in there.
Yep.
You shove a prescription in there.
Yep.
The appointment cards.
My appointment cards. Yep. I love that pocket.
I love the stickers. And and I want to tell you guys, so the reason we made this like writable page, because people said that on our monthly layouts, we put a lot of fun holidays in our planners, right? So we have a lot of crazy stuff like National Sweater Day and, National Best Friend Day.
I live in Florida. We don't celebrate.
I was like, we don't know what National Sweater Day is over here.
But and then like Draco's birthday, he's standing there. We always put like, so some people are like, oh, there's too much stuff on the month squares that we can't write in sometimes. So that's why we made those writable boxes in the back. So
I didn't even know that that's what they were for.
I haven't flipped that far yet. I've been trying to be really good about not like
so
getting overly excited.
There's a little note up here that literally says, because I knew nobody was going to know what these are for, use these boxes for writing notes and appointments.
You wrote that too small. I can't see. Next time, write it bigger. No, I'm just kidding.
For Paula.
For Paula. This is for Paula. Instructions for use.
Yeah.
I have been being very good about staying in 2024, even though I'm planning a lot. But as soon as this arrived, I came to this page right here in April.
Yes.
Is that your Japan?
It is.
All right.
I was so excited to put my Japan trip into this. What are you currently watching and or reading? Both.
I am currently, so I'm doing multiple things. So Great British Baking Show is in a current season. So Avi, right? So I'm watching that as it comes out. I'm trying to get back into Only Murders in the Building because I really want to get to the Melissa McCarthy episodes. And I'm still in season 3, so I'm sort of watching that. My comfort listen right now, I'm reading Half-Blood Prince at night when I need to go to sleep. I'm comfort listening to the Lockwood and Co. book series again for probably the 20th time. Haley has me reading, my daughter has me reading this dark fantasy. I'm reading this, it's a duology. So the first book was One Dark Window.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys heard of that one?
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And I'm on the second book, but unfortunately, I'm currently obsessed with a podcast called True Crime BS. And it's about a serial killer, Israel Keys, and we listened to it on our road trip home from Florida in September. And my sister and I are speeding through 6 seasons of podcasts, and it's like I'm not watching anything at night. I'm listening to, I'm listening to the true crime podcast, and I don't even listen to true crime, you guys. This is the first time.
You do now.
I do now. I didn't even know. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really fascinated by this whole thing, and it's a super in-depth deep dive into this. And they're still trying to. He died in 2012, but they're still trying to uncover his crimes and connect the dots for missing people that were probably his victims. So they're actively working on it and solving it. So that's crazy. Kind of cool.
See, I can watch that because then I start to think that everybody was a serial killer.
I know.
Listen, my favorite show is Criminal Minds. So,
oh, Dani. Oh, have you heard of Israel Keys before?
No.
This is what's so crazy, you guys. He is okay. Off episode, we will talk because you need to know about this. Because he orchestrated nobody knowing about him. He made a deal with the FBI.
I do need you to add something to your list once you are updated with your podcasting.
Yes.
Agatha All Along.
Really? Should I? Okay. Paula, did you watch Agatha All Along?
I haven't yet, but I will once I have more. I like to binge stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She wants it all out, so she'll binge it.
I want it all out. So I don't want. I've been pretty good at. I think I got a spoiler, but I'm not really sure. Maybe.
Is Agatha All Along? Is it so good?
It's so well done. The cast is phenomenal. I was going to try, if Paula wasn't going to watch it, I was going to use the fact that the kid from Heartstopper's
in there. I already saw it. That's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Trisha and I talk about it every week after we watch the episode. It's also the costuming and just the sets are just so cool to look at. It's so good.
Okay. I'm in.
Even though it's Marvel, it doesn't quite feel like Marvel. Like it feels more like
WandaVision and I liked it.
Yeah,
it's just like it feels more like witchy.
Okay, cool.
Like the first episode, you kind of have to get through to figure out what's going on. But like once you're like onto the witch's road, you're like you forget that it's Marvel because it's so witchy and it's so well done.
Yeah. Not that I have anything against Marvel.
Some people have like Marvel burnout.
Yeah.
And I get that. And this just feels different. Cause like, and I get explored just like, I'm like, this is different. You don't have that like, another superhero show type of feeling. Cause like, I get it. I understand that sometimes it's just a lot of Marvel. Paula, are you watching anything?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I've watched what's it called? Nobody Wants This like 4 times already.
Have you?
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
It's Kristen Bell,
I loved it so much. Huh?
It's Kristen Bell, right?
Yeah, it's Kristen Bell and Adam Brody.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. Like, I hope they have a second season. I just loved it so much.
I think it's already been renewed for a second season.
Has it?
Don't quote me
See,
on
I
that,
didn't
but
even
I
know because
feel
I'm
like
too
I saw.
busy rewatching it.
I
Is
haven't
that on
watched
Net-
it, but I feel like I heard that it had been renewed.
is that on Netflix, Paula?
It is on Netflix. Yeah, I love it.
How is your Doctor Who watch going?
Yeah.
It's good. I'm in the 4th season. Um, we just watched the episode, the one where who is it? Where Donna like tells Rose, "Hey, if you see this lady, tell her keys are in here." And it was when she turns around, it's Rose.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Lennon was not happy. Lennon doesn't like Rose for some reason. It's weird, really weird.
That is so weird. Joey, we watched Doctor Who like in, I want to say 2012. So Joey was like 10 at the time. How old is Lennon?
He's 9.
Okay. Okay. Like same age. But Joey loved Rose. And
Who does Lennon love? Then who's his?
the one that's now the not Donna, the other one.
oh,
God, why can't I remember her name now?
I can't think.
Me too.
Martha.
Martha. He
Martha.
loves Martha.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because most people do not like Martha.
I know.
No, none of us really were big of fans of Martha. Mm-mm.
And I think it's because it was hard to come off of Rose.
That's how we all felt.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think that is also like if you're not binging, I feel like when you binge something, the effect the show has on you is very different than when you watch it as it's coming out.
Yep.
I use the How I Met Your Mother as an example all the time because I loved How I Met Your Mother, but I hated the ending. And a lot of people who binge it love the ending. And I was like, I think it's because it's so like compressed.
Yep.
That you don't have time to like build that.
Well, you also like don't have those weeks in between going, did Rose really
exactly?
Just do
you're
that?
just like
what does that mean? Like, did she? What does Bad Wolf mean? Like, you don't have all that processing where you're waiting for a next episode or waiting 2 years for the next season.
Yeah, and he picks up on things like a lot, and I think this is why I'm probably a bad reader. Is he picks up on things like he always sees like the little things in the background or I never, when he points it out, sometimes he'll rewind and he's like, oh, look. And I'll be like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that stuff in Doctor Who. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Like
if it wasn't for him, I would catch nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I didn't. And you know, my kids would catch it. I mean, I think we did Doctor Who, and then Supernatural for our binges back then. And then the one we did after that was like X-Files. And every time we
I loved X-Files.
And Haley actually for a little while was looking at being a forensic biologist. And like, you know, she was like researching like the FBI office here in town and everything in high school, all because of, you know, the X-Files. I mean,
the X-Files.
We were super into it. It was super great to like binge it for a while, but then we all dropped off near the end, like, you know, like everybody did in the X-Files.
It's so cool to see how like many jobs come out of television shows.
It is true.
Like NCIS, there was a big uptick in forensics because of Abby's character. And then the Big Bang Theory, they had done an article about so many people were looking into the sciences in general, and especially females in the sciences because of Big Bang.
Yeah.
Once the girls were on.
Once the girls were on. Yep. Yep. Isn't that amazing? I just love that. You know, I do too. And I think, you know, and I tell my kids, I mean, obviously Haley's a 5th grade teacher now, so she did not become a forensic biologist. And I think her little sensitive heart would have had a really hard time dealing with that. But you know, she's been reading some thrillers and stuff. She does side reads because just like I do, you know, like I'm rereading Lockwood. She's like, Mom, would you stop with Lockwood and get back to this duology we're supposed to be reading together? Yeah. So she's like, you know, watching thrillers and stuff, but you know, and I tell Joey he's computer science engineering at Purdue. And, I'm like, dude, because he wants to do something with the space program someday. I'm like, that's great if you do that. But whatever you end up doing, it may not be anything like you want to think you're doing now, because never was in college and said, gee, I want to own a stationery brand someday. Like,
what? That wasn't your dream since you were in
This
like
wasn't your
second
dream?
grade?
That's crazy.
yeah, no, it's so funny how we stumbled into this. I mean, literally, Ted had never even seen a Harry Potter film. I mean,
I wanted to be a brain surgeon when I was a kid, so
Well,
I am not a brain surgeon.
you did? But that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still love
time.
to no. It requires a lot of reading.
I was like, that's not the reading I want to do.
That's not the kind of reading I want to
don't think
do.
you can get all that on a podcast.
But I do love watching like surgeries and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I love injuries and stuff like that. I had a friend that posted that her husband cut his finger today, but she put like words over it, and I was like, some of us are weird and kind of want to see the cut. And she was like, you want me to send you the picture? And I was like, yeah, bruises are not fun.
My bruise.
Look at you. She's like, look at my injury, Paula.
I was like, some of us are weird and we want to see the cut. So she sent it to me, and I was like, oh my God. And he wasn't even going to go to the hospital. He had like cut it pretty bad. He was like, no, he was just going to put a Band-Aid on it. And he got like 4 or 5 stitches on his finger. I was like,
goodness.
Better crazy.
No.
But yeah, Dani, what are you watching/reading? I'm reading still the tandem read, by the way. I'm still on that.
Oh,
I feel like I'm never going to be done.
I blew past you like 3 months ago. Paula.
I know.
I finished and I was like, all right, well, yeah. Okay, Dani.
I am reading, opening it up. To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. I'm almost done with it. And then I'm watching Agatha All Along. We're watching British Bake Off on Fridays. I've been enjoying the new reality show, The Summit.
Okay.
What is that?
Manu Bennett is the host, and it's a group of people that are trying to summit the mountain in New Zealand. And each day they have to get to like a checkpoint. And each of them has so much money, and they have to make it to the summit together. But as they're going, like if they hit a checkpoint, they actually have to vote someone off.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So it's very interesting because it's not like, and like when the people joined, they didn't really like quite know what it would entail. So there's like a group of like moms in their 50s, and then there's like the super active like gym bro.
And so they weren't.
It sounds kind of Amazing Race-ish.
It kind of is, but they all have to summit together, and they only have 14 days to do it.
Oh.
And like
to look into that. I might like it.
So
I'm watching The Floor.
I do like The Floor.
My friend is on it. He hasn't been called up yet, though.
Oh, that's amazing.
He's his name is Neri, and his category is comedians.
Oh.
So, but he hasn't been on yet. But he's actually a comedian. But
I want to check out LeVar Burton's going to be hosting Trivia Pursuit.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
And I'm like, it has LeVar Burton's name on it. That's all I need.
That's all. Yeah. That's all we need. Yep, that's right. That's right.
And what else am I watching? We're getting ready. Lower Decks, the final season, will be back in 2 weeks.
What is it?
Lower Decks.
Oh my god.
What is Lower Decks?
Star Trek.
Oh, like what is that?
I thought you were talking about Below Decks. Wait a minute.
No, Star Trek Lower Decks.
Okay.
It's a cartoon, but it realms closer to like adult cartoon. It's such a good series. And they like say all the things that you think about Star Trek. But it's all from the point of view of like not like the captain. It's all like the like people that work like third shift. So all the like trainees that live on like the lower decks of the ship and have like the grunt work.
Yes, that's fantastic.
That's cool.
It's so good. And they actually did a crossover, which was an amazing crossover with Strange New Worlds, which is live action. So two of the cartoon characters came over into the live action show.
Oh, that's cool.
And the actors were actually the people that voice it. So one of them is actually one of the writers on a few Star Trek series. And then Jack Quaid is the voice of Boimler.
Oh,
and
I
so
love
he
him.
it was just so well done because they still kept the like character traits. So like when he would trip, it was like very charactery, but it was one of the best episodes.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Good. But they're ending it, so we are in our last season.
And then in November, we are going to be in California. We have a summit to go to out there, but we are going to, I think, knock on wood, it'll work out. We'll go to Universal out there, and maybe we'll see our Marauder Map journals out there in stores, unless they're sold out there by the time we get out there. I hope not. I hope we can still go out there and see them in stores because that's always fun. So even though we can't put our name or anything on it, was super fun that they gave us the opportunity to make something for them and, have them.
We always keep our eyes open for your stuff.
Yeah. In world.
In world. I love that.
But everyone should order their planners. We're almost to 2025, which feels weird.
It does feel weird.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We're going to have tons of wicked content.
Yes.
For like the next 3 months.
That's so awesome.
3 months for 2 years because
really
it's in 2 parts.
Yeah. She'll take a break for December because we are going to see Elf in concert.
Yes.
That's
I'm so excited.
That's so
They finally listened to us. I say we did it because every time we talk about Cine concerts, we're always like, how come you can't get us Elf over here?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we have it. So I say it was us.
I still have not done a Cine concert. They do not.
Oh my God.
They do not do Indianapolis. So never. They haven't had an Indianapolis one, which is a huge bummer. So I was looking I think I found some Louisville dates and, that's where my daughter and her boyfriend live now. So I'm going to try to see if we can do something in Louisville. I cannot believe they don't do Indiana. It is so frustrating.
I'll tell you what, it would be worth it. I'll die on this hill. It is the best Harry Potter experience out there. That's awesome. I love it so much.
I really want to go. I really want to have that experience. So.
It just changes like the emotion in it because I
don't think we're gonna make it through the next one.
Oh, we're not.
We're on
not me.
We're on movie 7 part 2.
Yeah.
We're on the final one for Orlando this summer.
Yeah, because they come out in order.
Once they start coming out in a city, they'll do them all in that city.
Okay.
And usually around the same time of year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that last one's gonna be rough.
Maybe they'll since they haven't been to Indianapolis yet, maybe they'll add that and start with
we
should write to them.
Start with number 1. So whenever it goes to a city, they start at 1.
If Cine Concerts is listening, we need you to come to Indianapolis.
We need Indianapolis. What the heck? They're dancing around Indiana, but never coming here.
Oh my gosh. So Shelley, why don't you let us know where we can find you on socials so we can order all the coloring books and steno pads?
Oh, awesome. You can find me on socials, Instagram at Conquest Journals, Facebook at Conquest Journal, TikTok, Conquest Journals, and our website is conquestjournal.com. And we have some shipping specials. Like if you spend over $50, you can get priority mail shipping for $5. And the difference, we have an Amazon shop too, which is great. And I understand anybody who wants to do Prime, it's all our product. It all comes from us, regardless of whether it's from the Amazon warehouse that we shipped there or it comes from our warehouse. But when you order directly from us, Patrick always puts in some little freebies, like some stickers and maybe a little notebook or something. So we always try to make it a little extra special when it comes directly from our warehouse.
You can't get Patch's touch without ordering directly from the website.
That's correct.
You cannot be assaulted by all the confetti without ordering.
That's right.
It's the neatest confetti out there.
Oh, I love it,
right
but
now.
I hate it at the same time.
I know.
I get so excited. I was like, oh, I get to dig for my stuff. And then like 3 weeks later, I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, you're still finding it. And you know what? Oh, when I'm packing orders, because sometimes I'm still in the warehouse helping out or doing, especially when we did the teacher planners, I spent like a week out there helping Patrick ship stuff. And when those little these little pieces of packing paper and they're like sticking out of the corners of the boxes, it drives me crazy. I'm like, okay, like I have this like, I don't know, this problem with it. And I have to either pull them out or shove them back in.
I think I would pull them out.
I'm like, yeah, I can't have that sticking out of the box. It's just
crazy.
Okay. All right, Paula, where can we find you?
You can find me at Unconceivable on TikTok, Instagram. You can also find me at Strictly Kindle on Instagram and TikTok as well. Also on Fable, where you can find our book club, where we are currently doing the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. I think by the time you hear this, we'll probably be done and moving on to Kingdom of Ash, and I'm terrified. You can also find me here at Creating Magic Podcast. And Dani.
You can find me at Mandrix and Mischief on the Instagram. And you can also now find me at Not the Droids Pod on the Gram, TikTok, all the podcast platforms we actually launched today.
Yay!
It's a video podcast too. So
awesome.
So I have to do my hair before I record those. And then you can find me on all the podcast things also. And until next time, keep creating.
Another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled.